Hello and welcome to United with Alvin. You can always unite with me by liking, subscribing, and commenting in the comment section below. Now let's get to the vibes. Before we get to the match, before talking about this play, now I want to break down certain things that I feel United did well in the match, especially with the build-up phase. I've always talked about this build-up phase, especially the phase one of the build-up phase, because in the preseason we kept seeing the central defender coming into midfield and forming partnership with the central any of the central midfielder, and then we have a box for sometimes a trapezo should in case Benyada or whoever the goalkeeper comes to join in the build-up play. And there were a lot of confusions as to how United is trying to build up against Bournemouth. We saw a couple of good things against West Ham too was due, but against I think Fiorentina we look lost in the build-up phase and we couldn't consistently build up well. But in Arsenal against Arsenal yesterday, we played magnificent. And this is what I realized in the build-up phase that anytime the centre back joined the central midfield, in this case it was mainly um, the late Casemiro, and then Bruno goes in behind it. This is how it was being built up. We have you on the right hand side, you have Shaw on the left hand side. Begada is the one who initiates the attack. Most importantly, what surprised me is Benyada distribution. I felt it was very good, and I was surprised that he was. Hey, let's just say I'm surprised he was both feet. Honestly, I didn't know Benyada was equally good with his left foot. So this is how we usually initiate the attack. Most often when the center back join the central midfield, creating the four box or something the trapezium. Sometimes it's four, sometimes it's five. If the goalkeeper step forward with the ball, it's not necessary for the goalkeeper to pass to either of them. Or when he moves the ball wide to you, it's not necessary for him to pass to either the late or Casemiro by itself as a decoy. Because if you see most of the time when we are building up the phase, you engage Arsenal central midfield. This is what I'm talking about. You find out that Zubimendi and Odiga always, marks, how do we call it? Either the late or Casemiro. They are just occupying them, leaving space in behind. And you can see that most at times, Bayenda was able to find pockets of spaces to either Bruno or Cunha or Imbubu, or in a situation whereby Bayenda is not the one initiating the pass, he switches wide to what? Joe. And you can either switch it long to Imbumo or Cunha, because the four of these players have engaged Arsenal central defenders. And so now there's spaces in behind Arsenal. Bruno can drop in between them, pick the ball, and repeat the press. Or Cunha drop in between them, pick the ball, and beat the press. Or there are situations whereby the ball moves to you and you look for Imbumo directly. Or there are times where Bruno drops deep and forms parts of the four with what? Delete initiating the attack, giving the ball to Bruno, as Bruno is very good with his back against the opponent and move the ball. So we were having what? Variety of build up. Sometimes we switch long, sometimes we engage the four in the front in the first build up phase, and you can see understanding in the build up phase. So Arsenal kept wondering how we were going to build up. Fortunately for us, we were able to receive the ball in tight spaces, because if we have players with such quality as Cunha, with such quality of Bruno, such quality as Bruno, we can do everything. We can pick the ball from pocket spaces, we can pick the ball from wide, we can come in and pick the ball. So we had constant variation in the build-up phase, making it unpredictable. Arsenal were unable to predict that, because in past seasons, when you engage us, we are not able to pick the ball in pocket spaces and turn. So we are stuck. And when we hit the ball long, as we did last season, nobody's picking the ball. Now this time, when we go long, you can see most of the time we switch. We don't go to center. We switch to Imbumo. First half especially, we were stretching the long balls in Boom, and he was that strong. He could hold California and bypassing anybody who was tackling Ibumu wasn't strong enough. Ibumu was just bullying them, so we were constantly beating the press. It's not we were not necessarily playing the ball through the middle. We could play the ball through wide, and we could still have space and move on. So you can see the players understand the builder phase. We look at what Arsenal give us, because when Bayenda gets the ball, he slows the game down. Watching how Arsenal is setting up, because the first four, if we engage the central, if we the box or the players, if either delete Casemiro, Euro, Shaw, engage Arsenal players, we go long. If Arsenal are not interested in engaging with them, we pass through the middle. So there is variety and an understanding of the game. We weren't just hitting the ball long. So this time you can see there are principles. There was intentions in building up the play. And once we were able to bypass the first phase, we were creating a lot of opportunities and we were able to slow the game down. And most importantly, we were in a haste to release the ball. In as much as we relentlessly hit the ball long to create dynamic attacks, when we bypass the press and we go into the opponent, we were in a haste to release the ball. During the preseason, I made mention of this. United were in a haste to release the ball. They weren't composed enough on the ball because we weren't used to ball possession. But this time around, you could see the players were used to the possession. They were used to holding the ball. They were used to creating 1-on-1, 1v1. It is quality. That is what we refer to. That is what we want to see. When you are playing, you want to be a dominant team, you have to have varieties of ways to beat the press. And it's very, very important for Manchester United to do that. Now to the player rating against Arsenal. Look, Bayenda has had many mistakes for his how do you call it? Mistakes. Yes, it cost us the game. Yes, he could have done better. But I think aside from that, he was okay. His distribution was spot on. He didn't have enough trouble or something. So I'll give Bayenda 6/10. Personally, I think Bayanda did okay. I'll give Bayanda 6/10. Euro, on the other hand, was just superb. Superb all around. 1v1, he was there. I think nobody bypassed Euro in this match. I don't know how many tackles that he won, but I didn't see nobody bypassing him. He was very efficient in receiving the ball, in distributing the ball. Sometimes he could be slow, sometimes you could see he could have released the ball quicker. But in as much as he took his time, his passes were good. His build-up play was good, and his tackle was good. I'll give Euro 7/10. Delete, similar to Euro, very, very combative. He didn't give Gyökeres a sniff. You can see, look, Gyökeres is strong, and you can see anytime Delete comes to tackle, he doesn't. He comes to crash. He comes in to crash. He doesn't come in to move around. He comes with the determination to win the ball because Gyökeres is that strong. Gyökeres is that strong. I'll give Delete 8/10. I think Delete was a little bit above over you in this game. So I'll give Delete 8/10. Luke Shaw was also great. He wasn't fabulous, but he was okay. He was okay. He did what he had to do. Held the ball when he has to, distribute the ball when he has to. I give Delete 6. I say Delete Shaw 6.5/10. Now to the central midfield, Casemiro was okay, and the reason why I liked this game for Casemiro was he was also good in distributing the ball. And since Bruno wasn't roaming all over the pitch, the proximity between you and Casemiro was not that wide, so they were able to be combative in the midfield and win ball. The only thing I didn't like about Bruno and Casemiro was sometimes they overpress. Sometimes when the front three are conservative, instead of them to hold their position, and block the passing lane in between the center of the pitch, they tend to move ahead and then create a lot of space for Arsenal to penetrate. When you have players like Zubimendi and Delete, who Declan Rice, they were able to bypass this man. Apart from those couple of times they were in a haste to move forward to create space, I think they did good. I'll give Casimo 6.5 over 10. Similar to Bruno, I'll give him 6.5 over 10. Now, Dogu, for me, he was fantastic today. Dogu was very, very good today. His energy and his wide play, he was able to hold the wide end of the pitch to stretch Arsenal. Because you could see most of the time when the ball switched to him, he was always wide and he kept Ben White guessing because most often Cunha drops in deep and Ben White doesn't know whether he should come with Cunha or he should stay. Because when you come to Cunha, if you count with Cunha, Dogu takes over the space with the weight. So I think the combination of Dogu and Cunha was very good. Their understanding was very good. Because anytime he sees a Cunha drop, he just stretch the width. Sometimes Cunha even doesn't drop, he's already stretching the width. So now White is stuck in between Dogu and then what? Cunha. Now Dogu 7.5. Dogu 7.5 over 10. Had a very good game. The Gudalo, on the other hand, was superb, especially with crossing. He had the energy, he had the tenacity. He wasn't as lively as Dogu, but he was effective. So I give him 6 over 10. I'll give Dogu Dalo 6.5 over 10. Now to the two things, the two debutants, the two newbies, the two magnifico, the two magician, the two outstanding players. 7.5 each over 10. In the first half, it was mainly in Bruno, stretching out the play, using his strength, using his physicality, using his pace, using his dribbling, going direct all the time. He had to have the ball. He was superb. He was all over, receiving the ball from long, switching. Anytime they switch up play, he was already there. He's always either dropping deep or going wide. He was just effective and he was just direct. He was too beautiful to watch. In Bruno, 7.5 over 10. Cunha, 7.5 over 10. Wow. He is a true Brazilian. Cunha is a true Brazilian. You could see the flair. You could see the entertainment. You could see the confidence. You could see the magic. When was the last time you saw a United player taking the ball from deep and dribbling 2 or 3 players with ease, going through them, not away from them, through them? Cunha was taking the ball through them. He can take the ball out of nowhere and just create chances. And you couldn't know whether he was going to right, whether he's going to left, whether he's going straight, whether he's going to shoot, whether he's going to nibble or whether he's going to pass. He was just 7.5 over 10. Cunha. Mount gave us a lot of energy. Mount gave us a lot of trigger pressing point when we needed to press, when we were not able to press. And I like that about him. Effective, efficient in his role that he played. I'll give him 7 over 10. Now, to the substitute, Ahmad. Ahmad came in and you see the spark right away. Immediately Ahmad came in, you could see the spark right away. You could see this is the new Maradona. Left foot, right foot. But he made Madueke look like a baby, look like a boy, look like a toddler. He was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. It was good he came from the bench because we didn't know how the game would have panned out. So Diego Dallo played as a right wing back against Arsenal. I hear people on the internet say it wasn't a good call. Personally, it was a good call because we didn't know how the game was going to pan out. In my first 11, I put Diego Dallo on the right wing back, and I knew how to be defensive. Later did I know that United would be full on attack. So Ahmad, when he came in, 6 over 10, with a small time that he had. Sesko, ball, we didn't get much of the ball, but it went inflow. He was very influensive. The way he hold that play, look at the flick he gave to Ugarte when he had the ball. If he would have given like 4 or 5, 3 or 4 effective crosses to the net, he would have scored a goal. He would have buried. He would have done something magnificent. 6 over 10. I think Ugarte was disappointing today, honestly. I thought you got was disappointing. I don't know how to even describe his performance. It wasn't great. It was just he just came to occupy. He just one of two. I'll give Ugarte 5/10. Yeah, and I think this guy also did well. Maguire came in, showed his presence both in defense and both in attacks. Solid defending performance from Maguire. I'll give him 6/10. This is my player racing for Manchester United against Arsenal. Please continue to watch, like, subscribe, and comment to my channel, and let this channel grow.